Hey everyone, it's Alex, and I am back with another video preview for the 89th Academy Awards. Today I'm here to reveal the eligible contenders for Best Original Score. Now, Best Original Score is, of course, an Oscar category designed to honor the best film scores used throughout a certain year. And the way in which film scores become eligible for consideration is they have to be submitted for consideration, so if you don't submit a score, it's not going to have a chance of being nominated. Plus, a significant portion of that score has to be original. If the score uses a lot of pre-recorded music from another score, or simply recreates music from another score, or just doesn't have a certain percentage of original music that's never been heard before, then it becomes ineligible. And that often happens with a certain number of films that still have great sounding scores nonetheless. And I will talk about some of those films after I reveal the contenders. Now this year, a massive amount of scores were submitted. This year there are 145 scores eligible for nominations in this category. But from these 145 scores, only 5 of them can become the official Oscar nominees for Best Original Score. So I'm not going to delay any longer in revealing to you what those scores are. Here are the eligible film scores for the 89th Academy Awards and the composers who wrote them. The Abolitionists by Tim Jones. Absolutely Fabulous, the movie, by Jake Monaco. The Accountant by Mark Isham. Alice Through the Looking Glass by Danny Elfman. Allied by Alan Silvestri. Almost Christmas by John Paisano. American Pastoral by Alexander Desplat. The Angry Birds Movie by Heitor Pereira. Anthropoid by Robin Foster. Armenia My Love by Sylvia Leonetti. Assassin's Creed by Jed Kurzel. Autumn Lights by Hugo Gudmundsson and Hjortur Yngvi Johansson. The BFG by John Williams. Believe by Michael Riola. Ben-Hur by Marco Beltrami and Buck Sanders. Bilal by Atli Orverson. Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk by Michael Dana and Jeff Dana. The Birth of a Nation by Henry Jackman. Bleed for This by Julia Holter. The Boss by Christopher Lennertz. Bridget Jones's Baby by Craig Armstrong. The Bronze by Andrew Feltenstein and John Now. Captain America Civil War by Henry Jackman. The Charnel House by Todd Haberman. The Choice by Marcelo Zarvos. Collateral Beauty by Theodore Shapiro. The Conjuring 2 by Joseph Bishara. Criminal by Brian Tyler and Keith Power. Deadpool by Tom Holkenborg. Deepwater Horizon by Steve Jablonsky. Denial by Howard Shore. Doctor Strange by Michael Giacchino. The Dressmaker by David Hirschfelder. Eddie the Eagle by Matthew Margeson. The Edge of 17 by Atli Orverson. Elle by Anne Dudley. Eye in the Sky by Paul Hepker and Mark Killian. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them by James Newton Howard. Fences by Marcelo Zarvos. Finding Dory by Thomas Newman. The First Monday in May by Ian Hultquist and Sophia Hultquist. Florence Foster Jenkins by Alexander Desplat. Floyd Norman, An Animated Life by Ryan Shore. The Founder by Carter Burwell. Free State of Jones by Nicholas Britell. Ghostbusters by Theodore Shapiro. The Girl on the Train by Danny Elfman. Gleason by Dan Romer and Saul Simon McWilliams. Gold by Daniel Pemberton. Greater by Stephen Rayner Endelman. Hacksaw Ridge by Rupert Gregson Williams. Hail Caesar by Carter Burwell. The Handmaiden by Cho Young-wook. Hands of Stone by Angelo Milley. Hell or High Water by Nick Cave and Warren Ellis. Hidden Figures by Pharrell Williams and Benjamin Wallfish. High Rise by Clint Mansell. How to Be Single by Phil Eisler. Hunt for the Wilder People by Lucas Buda and Samuel Scott. The Huntsman, Winter's War by James Newton Howard. Ice Age Collision Course by John Debney. Independence Day Resurgence by Thomas Wander and Harold Closer. Indignation by Jay Wadley. The Invitation by Theodore Shapiro. Ithaca by John Mellencamp. Jack Reacher Never Go Back by Henry Jackman. Jackie by Micah Levi. Julieta by Alberto Iglesias. The Jungle Book by John Debney. Keeping Up with the Joneses by Jake Monaco. Kicks by Brian Reitzel. Krisha by Brian McGomber. Kubo and the Two Strings by Dario Marianelli. La La Land by Justin Hurwitz. Land of Mine by Soon Martin. Landfill Harmonic by Michael A. Levine. The Legend of Ben Hall by Ronnie Minder. The Legend of Tarzan by Rupert Gregson Williams. Life Animated by Dylan Stark and T. Griffin. The Light Between Oceans by Alexander Desplat. Lights Out by Benjamin Wallfish. Lion by Dustin O'Halloran and Hauschka. The Little Prince by Hans Zimmer and Richard Harvey. Live by Night by Harry Gregson Williams. Loving by David Wingo. Maggie's Plan by Michael Rohatyn. Me Before You by Craig Armstrong. The Meddler by Jonathan Sadoff. Midnight Special by David Wingo. Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates by Jeff Cardoni. Miracles from Heaven by Carlo Cilioto. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children by Mike Hyam and Matthew Margson. Miss Sloane by Max Richter. Mr. Church by Mark Isham. Moana by Mark Mancina. Money Monster by Dominic Lewis. The Monkey King 2 by Christopher Young. A Monster Calls by Fernando Velazquez. Moonlight by Nicholas Bertel. Morgan by Max Richter. My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2 by Christopher Lennertz. The Neon Demon by Cliff Martinez. The Nice Guys by John Ottman. No Letting Go by Elaine Mayrand. Nocturnal Animals by Abel Korzeniowski. Now You See Me Too by Brian Tyler. O.J. Made in America by Gary Lionelli. Off the Rails by Steve Gerns and Duncan Thumb. The Other Side of the Door by Joseph Bishara. The Ottoman Lieutenant by Jeff Zanelli. Ouija, Origin of Evil by Taylor Stewart and John Andrew Grush. Our Kind of Traitor by Marcelo Zarvos. Passengers by Thomas Newman. Patterson by Carter Logan and Jim Jarmusch. Patriots Day by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. Pele, Birth of a Legend by A.R. Rahman. Pete's Dragon by Daniel Hart. Poe by Burt Bacharach. Queen of Kotway by Alex Heffes. Race by Rachel Portman. The Red Turtle by Laurent Perez Del Mar. Ride Along 2 by Christopher Lennertz. Rogue One, A Star Wars Story by Michael Giacchino. Sausage Party by Alan Menken and Christopher Lennertz. The Secret Life of Pets by Alexander Desplat. Silicon Cowboys by Ian Holtquist. Sing by Joby Talbot. Snowtime by Eloy Pencho and Jorain. South Side with You by Stephen James Taylor. Star Trek Beyond by Michael Giacchino. Storks by Michael Dana and Jeff Dana. Suicide Squad by Stephen Price. Sully by Christian Jacob. Swiss Army Man by Andy Hull and Robert McDowell. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows by Steve Jablonsky. 10 Cloverfield Lane by Bear McCreary. 10 Days in a Madhouse by Jamie Hall. 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi by Lorne Balfe. Trolls by Christoph Beck. 20th Century Women by Roger Neal. Warcraft by Ramin Djawadi. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot by Nick Urata. X-Men Apocalypse by John Ottman. Zoolander 2 by Theodore Shapiro. Zootopia by Michael Giacchino. And those are the 145 eligible contenders for Best Original Score. Now there are 3 scores that I can think of that were not submitted here, mainly due to having not enough original music apparently than they were supposed to, and that is Arrival, Manchester by the Sea, and Silence. I've heard Arrival and Manchester by the Sea scores since I've seen those movies, and they were very beautiful scores, and it's a shame they're not eligible here. I haven't seen Silence yet, but I'm looking forward to it very much since it is a Martin Scorsese movie and he's my favorite director of all time. But as for scores that did stand out to me, I'm just going to go through this alphabetically. The Birth of a Nation had a very good score, one of the best things about that movie. One of the few things I feel is Oscar-worthy about it. The Birth of a Nation is a good movie, but it's not a full-blown Oscar contender like 12 Years a Slave. It lacks some of the power that 12 Years a Slave had, but it's a good movie nonetheless. Denial had an excellent score to back up the serious subject matter of the Holocaust as displayed in that film. Well, it's more about proving the Holocaust existed. It's not necessarily a film set during the Holocaust itself, but that score really drove the themes home. Florence Foster Jenkins had a very beautiful score. Alexander Desplat is one of my favorite film composers of all time. He's my second favorite, only behind John Williams. Girl on the Train, I thought, had an okay score. Hacksaw Ridge had a pretty good score. Hell or High Water, oh boy, that had a very good score. Certainly a lot different than what you normally hear with orchestra and everything. Hell or High Water, most of that score is done on acoustic guitar, because, you know, to kind of reflect the Texas setting of the film. And boy, does it work amazingly. The Jungle Book, I thought, had a very good score. The Light Between Oceans, another Alexander Desplat score, absolutely beautiful, one of my personal favorite scores of the year. Kubo and the Two Strings had an amazing score, very reflective of the Japanese setting of the film. Moana had a beautiful score. Composers for Disney films know how to write beautiful scores, and Moana is no exception. Moonlight has a very beautiful haunting piano melodies and synthesizers. It's hard to describe it unless you actually listen to it, but once you do, you'll just be blown away by it. The Red Turtle I have not yet seen, but I'm curious to see it because it's a dialogue-free film. So the 2 big things that hold that film together are the animation and the music. Swiss Army Man had a very beautiful haunting score as well. There are a lot of sequences in the film where it's just set to music, there's no dialogue, and I thought it worked really well. And Zootopia, finally, another Disney score, and also done by Michael Giacchino. That worked excellent in that movie, captured all the right tones for each of the scenes, funny and happy for the funny scenes, sad for the serious and dramatic scenes. So, a lot of good scores so far. As to which scores I think will be nominated, just based on buzz and results from other award shows, I think the nominees will be Jackie, La La Land, Lion, Moonlight, and Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. Those are the 5 that I'm going to predict right now. However, my predictions may probably change as time goes on, leading up to the nominations, which come out on Tuesday, January 24th. We'll see what happens then, but until then, your guess is as good as mine. But please let me know in the comments section below which film scores you would like to see nominated, which scores have been your favorite of this year. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not yet already done so you can get my new videos as soon as they come out. And stay tuned for more Oscar and other award show coverage over the next few weeks and months. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!